New contingent, next general cardinals set to shake up the Vatican. TLDR, Pope Francis is ensuring his legacy continues, announcing the appointment of 21 new cardinals, the dudes who will one day elect his successor. The induction ceremony, also known as the consistory, is slated for Sept 30. With this move, Pope Francis keeps sculpting a more progressive and inclusive church, with a substantial possibility that the next pope could hail from Asia or Africa. There's something fishy happening in Vatican City, and it ain't the Holy See's famous Fish Fridays. Picture this, it's Sunday, July 9, 2023, in the Vatican. Pope Francis, the sprightly 86-year-old spiritual leader, surprises tourists and pilgrims in St. Peter's Square with an announcement hotter than a July afternoon in Rome. Guess what? He's adding 21 new high-ranking players to his Vatican squad, ensuring that his particular vision for the church continues long after he's kicked his papal bucket or hung up his mitre. Now, these newbies aren't just anyone. They're cardinals, second only to the Pope in the church's hierarchy. Think of them as the Pope's advisory board, minus the corporate jargon and snazzy PowerPoint presentations. Now, 18 of these fresh recruits are under 80, making them eligible to vote in the hush-hush conclave that will choose the next Pope. But who's counting, right? What's even more intriguing is the international flavor in this group. With new cardinals from a global menu, that includes the United States, Argentina, Switzerland, South Africa, Spain, and even Hong Kong, the Pope is subtly ensuring the Catholic Church doesn't remain a Eurocentric boys' club. Diversity, anyone? In another twist, the Pope is increasing the odds that the next Pope could be from Asia or Africa. A radical move that could see the Church's papal leadership make a significant leap across continents. But then again, isn't the Pope always full of surprises? Here's a wild card: what happens if the Pope, who's not getting any younger and recently underwent surgery, decides to name even more cardinals? Could we see an even more radical reshaping of the Church's power dynamics? Is Pope Francis playing 4D chess with the Church's future? And let's not forget about the octogenarian cardinals. Too old to vote, they're being honored for their long service to the Church. But don't let their age fool you, they can still influence the younger cardinals in pre-conclave meetings, known as general congregations. Basically, they're like your grandparents offering unsolicited but often wise advice at family gatherings. Francis' move raises questions about the future direction of the Church. Will the next Pope continue Francis' progressive vision? How will the Global South's growing influence shape the Church's future? And most importantly, how will these changes affect the lives of the ordinary faithful? Let's also talk about the elephant in the room, the Vatican's ties with Communist China. One of the newly appointed cardinals, Bishop Stephen Chow Sao-Yen of Hong Kong, is a major link to the Catholic Church in China. Is Pope Francis trying to use this appointment as a subtle nudge to improve conditions for Catholics in China? Or is this just another move in the complex global chessboard of church politics? The Church is no stranger to shifts in power and influence. After all, change is the only constant, even in a 2,000-year-old institution. But what does this mean for you, the follower, the believer, the questioner? How will these changes ripple through your faith, your community, your daily life? So, what do you think? Is Pope Francis shaking things up for the better? Or is he just shuffling the deck for the future, with no guarantee of the results? And can we ever really predict the next moves in the centuries-old game of ecclesiastical politics?